a new war. Who knows? But Nancy, thank you for the report, and I wish we had one of those live cameras set up so people could see you broadcasting right from the shore of the ocean.
Well, this is history making. This is first time in the world this has been done. So this is absolutely huge news.
We will. Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate the call.
All right.
Good success. So I wished I was down there. Somebody has to stay and do the show.
I didn't understand about half of what she said because it's so technical. But I'm sure you understand.
It is technical, but you have this polluted body of water, and they're able to I call it a huge ray gun, generate this frequency, this harmonic frequency, and at the right frequency, it disperses breaks the oil up and separates it into hydrogen and carbon. And so we have another phone call. Let's take this phone call quick, and then let's move on. Bill, I apologize for getting off track here, but
it's entertaining.
That's live television. Yeah. All right, caller, are you with us? Question or comment?
I got a question for you, Bob.
Yes.
What do you think of the county attorney race here?
Well, David Schultz?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have are we going to have our list of who to vote for up tonight? Maybe. Well, just
well, the other guy's a political insider, isn't he? That Troy guy.
Yes, I'll agree with that statement, and I'm encouraging people to vote for David Schultz. And do you have anything you want to add to that, caller?
I know everyone keeps saying county attorneys should be prosecutors, but shouldn't they also be good defenders?
Yes.
Shouldn't they protect our civil liberties?
Yes.
That's all I care about.
Okay. Well, it's a good point, and that brings us up to a comment on Lori Swanson. You know, Lori Swanson, the Attorney General, you compare that to county attorney, has said that her #1 priority is taking care of protecting the consumer. So I know that people are calling Lori Swanson up and saying, Lori, as a consumer, the city of Maplewood wants to take away my rights to hire my own trash hauler, and they're forcing down this. They're harming my consumer rights here. Can you intervene and put an injunction against Maplewood to force them to quit harming the consumers?
A right to garbage.
The right to garbage.
Don't hold your breath on that one.
Yeah. The commissioner says don't hold your breath on that one.
Okay.
So.
Take care, Bob.
Thanks for the call, but I mean that's I'd call it the hypocrisy of Lori Swanson. They come up with this campaign rhetoric. My #1 job is to protect the consumer. So we want to. What's our pick out there for county or Attorney General? Schultz.
Right.
For Attorney General.
Oh, for Attorney Chris Barden.
Chris Barden.
State, not county.
Chris Barden. See, we got to get the staff listening to the show. So
Well, you said county.
No,
State Attorney General.
They always blame me for using the wrong terms. We got to get back to Bill here. Then we'll take some phone calls. Just hold those calls. Write on a piece of paper what the caller wants.
Too late on this one.
Too late on this one. All right, Bill. What's going on in Washington County?
Well, there's only a few more days left before the election, so I've wrapping up my door knocking and making sure the mail goes out. And I mean, you've run races before, Bob. You know how it gets the last week, so it's pretty crazy.
Well, all I got to say is my opponent, that 20 insiders chose to give the primary endorsement to, And then we had the state party, Republican Party, come in and do his fundraising for him, do his.
Bill's here.
I know. Well, we mix here, but my opponent.
In the race.
My opponent, they don't like me to talk about this, but the party did the mailings for him, did the phone calls for him, did the fundraising for him, and then after the party did that and it was his turn to step up, we haven't seen or heard from him. It's unbelievable. So I look at what you do out there, I think you probably have, what, about 40 times the number of signs out as your opponent?
It's probably about, realistically, it's probably about 10 to 1.
10 to 1?
Yeah.
And then you have the track record, and you have the, keep the, I mean, really, what is probably the number one role that a county commissioner has? Lower property taxes, reduce government spending, balance the county budget.
Yeah. Say all three of those. Yeah.
So
yeah, actually, I mean, the number one issue I hear at the door, I've been door knocking for 5 months, is basically don't raise my property taxes, and that's what I keep hearing over and over and over again. I mean, a lot of people have questions about what exactly the county does as far as,
what services they provide,
specific, programs and services, because some people aren't familiar with all the things that we do. But once you kind of walk them through it, then they know. But getting a lot of people, I'll tell you, that say whatever you do, don't raise my property taxes. So.
Well, and people need to understand that in this country, there's no such thing as private property. Everybody has this misconception that you own your property. You lease it from the government. Quit paying your taxes and see who really owns it.
Yep.
I mean, it's the greatest scam in the world, folks. Sell somebody something and tell them they own it, but that they have to forever, whether they own it or pass it on to their children or somebody else, have to keep paying rent to the government. What?
Yep.
I mean, isn't that unbelievable?
Yep.
That you could sell somebody an item, sell them your car, and then forever they got to pay you for that car, or you get to go back and take it back.
Every year.
Every year. Yep. And you have the ability to raise how much they got to pay you for your old car. Yep. Every year you could up the.
And not only that, but if you have to pay every year, and if you don't pay on time, then you pay even more with penalties and fees. So actually, I had a gentleman call me literally today about he got socked with penalty and fees for not paying on time. So we're kind of looking into it to see if there was a hardship there. It's kind of a tangent, but
well, there's got to be a lot of hardships out there because there's a lot of people losing their jobs. They don't have an income, and government just it keeps rolling along.
Well, I'll tell you, Bob, one of the things that I'm amazed at, saddened, is, like I said, I've been door knocking for about 5 months. It doesn't matter what neighborhood you're in. If you're in Oakdale, you're in Lake Elmo, you're in Woodbury. It doesn't matter if the house is $200,000 or $600,000. I'm amazed at how many foreclosures there are, or how many houses I go up to the door and they're abandoned, they're empty, or they're posted with that the bank owns the property now, and if you have questions, to call the bank. But you would be surprised at the number that there are out in the East Metro.
When the bank takes back a property, they have to pay the property taxes?
That is my understanding, yes. They have to pay the property taxes.
So even the bank could end up losing the property to the county if they don't pay the taxes.
Yeah, exactly.
What cities are comprise
my district?
Your district.
I've got Oakdale, Lake Elmo, Landfall, and about a quarter of Woodbury.
Okay, and that's and there's how many county commissioners?
5.
5.
Yeah.
So all of Washington County is one commissioner for each area.
I mean, we make decisions, of course, for the whole county, but we're elected and represented by districts. So, and there's about 220,000 people in Washington County, so we all represent about 55,000 people. Well, yeah.
Do we have a caller that we want to take?
Yes, Bob.
Caller, are you with us? Question or comment for Bill Polkovac?
Well, it's a comment that I have, and now you're on a roll with your guest, and that was a concern for me that the guest didn't get anything to say, and we'd like to hear what he has to say about Washington County. So thank you.
All right, there you go. See, they call up and they admonish the host.
Well, but it's deserved, Bob.
It's
Sometimes
deserved.
you just go on and on. You said I represented Ramsey County at the beginning of the show too. So it's like I think that some of it you bring upon yourself. So
That may be true, but see, what do they call that? A Freudian slip, because you do represent Ramsey County in terms of being a guiding light for Ramsey County. See, if Ramsey County commissioners would just turn and watch Washington County, Ramsey County could learn a lot. So maybe that was a true statement.
I'm not going to comment on that.
All right, so about 55,000 people are in your area, and it's a physically large area because I've driven around and seen where the extent of your signs.
It's about in between a state rep district and a state senate district, so about right in between. So
the one that I've come to the conclusion is really the largest area to try to deal with is the school board candidates.
Oh yeah,
because they have, and I encourage people to vote for Rich Bennett for the North St. Paul Maplewood Oakdale School District. I thought Robert Martin might stop by tonight. He's another candidate that's running for the school board. But in any case, that's really...
And Mark Cove.
Mark Cove.
Stellar candidate. Yeah.
So the issue becomes there, and let's see, there's 3 seats up. No.
Yeah, 3.
3 seats. Scott Dudek didn't run again, which was...
It was disappointing.
Was very disappointing. He was actually, in terms of the leadership on that school board, the one that could actually bring some reasonable questions to the way they ran that. And I mean, then you have those other candidates or the other people there. Like, most people don't realize that Nancy Livingston used to be a reporter for the Pioneer Press. And some of her former stories about questioning the expenditures of the school district, and once she got on the school board, she did about a 180-degree flip. And so people need to dig out her old articles. All right, let's go back to the county. What other big issues are out there in terms of what the county, Washington County, is looking for?
I'd say the budget. I mean, we've lost a considerable amount of money in the last 3 years with the state cutbacks on allotment, loss of county program aid, much like a lot of the cities have lost local government aid, which makes it challenging to make cuts to the budget. Obviously, if you're not going to raise property taxes, which we have made the decision not to, then your only other option is to make cuts. And what makes it challenging is that about 85% of what we do, the state government tells us we have to do it, whether they give us the money or not, or whether they fully fund it or not. They force us to do it. So when you're only talking in your budget of about 15% is discretionary spending, it doesn't leave you a lot of programs and services to look at for cuts.
What's the total annual budget for?
It's about $185 million.
$185 million.
And about half of that comes from property taxes. So the amount that people pay residents and business owners, about half of it comes from property taxes. The other half comes from the state and federal government. That number used to be, not too long ago, was in the low mid 60s, that the state and federal government gave 60-65% of the money to the counties. Now it's down to about half, and it keeps going lower and lower, which I'm not one to complain about it. I mean, if the state of Minnesota said, hey,